And before starting BIC, I mean, I never did a strengths test. I never did these different kind of evaluations of who you are kind of a thing. And since then, because of lots of different life journeys, I've gone through some of those. And one of them, you talk about your color and the animal that you're like and all those kinds of things. But the thing that really struck me a lot is, I knew I was a golden retriever. I knew I was loyal beyond loyal. But what I really didn't realize is how empathy affected my life. And, in some respects, I thought, oh, empathy, wow, what a weak and worthless evaluation of who I would be. And the more I thought about it, it's like, that's exactly what I believe most people see when they're done dealing with Craig Geese. Is I put myself in your shoes. If you stub your toe, I feel it. I literally do. It's a bizarre feeling that I have when I watch somebody walk down the street and they scratch their knee. I feel it. And it's almost painful for me to be able to be around that. But I put myself in your shoes. In some respects, it's maybe a little bit too, soft-hearted in that fashion. But it's kind of like, okay, you as an owner, what are you expecting to have out of this? Well, there's certain things you want. I mean, I love being part of the pre-construction discussions in terms of understanding what somebody wants as an end result. Why did you want blue paint? Maybe you're from Kansas. I don't know. But, why did you want that style of a light? Why did you, all those kinds of things. So as we're installing it, and a subcontractor may say, hey, I've got some little cheaper red paint I can put in for you. Sorry, that owner really wanted blue for a certain reason, whatever those cases might be. But throughout that, I keep myself kind of thinking, what did that owner want? The same kind of thing happens with a subcontractor. They don't walk onto a job where I'm involved with it and say, I'm in fear that person is not going to be empathetic to my situation. Was I brought on late because everybody else was falling behind? Did I have a supplier that was having trouble getting it? I really empathize with all of those kind of components. So it's like, how do we make it work? I don't enjoy lack of problems. I enjoy digging in and finding out how do we avoid it. I love the idea of looking ahead so that I can avoid those problems. But the reality is they're going to occur in construction. It's filled with a bunch of imperfect people. So how do we work through that? How do we come to a solution that everybody, in a sense, I love the concept of everybody's a win-win, but the reality is that really isn't the case of what happens. It becomes what's the best solution there for it. So I guess all that being said, that's really what kind of drives me in that respect. And with regard to putting the team together, it's really, lack of a better term, I look at a construction. I mean, I'm an industrial engineer. That was my trade. So I find ways to be inefficient and all those kinds of things. What drives me a bit is every construction project, and many things about life is, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Identifying the weakest link, shoring them up. Finding the next weakest link, shoring them up. How do we bring that team together? Obviously, resources of availability, whether it's their talents, whether they're good at doing this kind of a project, whether they have the resources at the time, and just frankly, just the idea, how does it fit? When I see a subcontractor that I know is not going to get along with my owner, sorry, you're really not the greatest fit necessarily to deal with the owner. How do we bring that team together?